Alright, most all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, double honors to the elders, the apostles at GMS, Great Millstone, and all the brothers within the highways and the byways where they do the work of the Most High in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. Alright, first more deal with this topic, the topic of the issue of borrowing and lending in Israel. Zin? Because it's a thing we are plague people every day. They don't really know how to deal with it. As far as me hear, as far as me concerned, as far as me witness, people don't really have a clue how to deal with the issue of borrowing and lending. Then you have some people always come and complain, say, them lend a man of money from how long and can't get it back. And that person always come up with a bag of store when they forget about their money, and years now them lend them money and can't get it back, and them are going to do this and do that. See? But the scripture don't give you the guideline how to deal with borrowing and lending. Right? So we're going to some scriptures and show you how to, we'll give you some example of some issue. Then we have a scripture regarding borrowing and lending and show you how you're supposed to deal with the neighbor regarding borrowing and lending. Alright, the first scripture we have got Ecclesiasticus 29. We're going to start at verse 1. It says, "He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and he that straiteneth his hand keepeth the commandments. Lend to thy neighbor in time of his need, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due season." So the scripture says, he that is merciful. Well, a merciful man will lend to somebody within a need. That is a natural thing. But only for a merciful man, as what the scripture says. It says, lend to thy neighbor in time of his needs, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due season. So the person you lend to is supposed to pay back in due season. What due season? The time when him tell us him I go pay you back. Right? Keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee. So you're supposed to keep your word. If me tell us me I go borrow $100 from you or $1,000 from you, and I go pay you back next week Monday, I'm supposed to pay you back. So I'm supposed to keep my word when I promise you. Then I'm going to always find the thing that's necessary for me. So another time again, you're going to say, alright, I'm going to lend a brother or something, and then pay me back. The time when him say I'm going to pay me back. Then, so the scripture say, yo, keep your word, yo. It say, many when a thing was lent, reckon it to be found, and put them to trouble that help them. As the scripture says, many when a thing is lent unto them, they reckon it to be found. Like you don't have no owner. You know, remember, say somebody lend you, it become like yours, basically. Where scripture say, and you put the person who lend you to trouble, because maybe my last money, but I'm gonna use something specific, and I lend you because I'm not time to do that yet. You see? But because you reckon it to be found, I'm not gonna get it back from you, because to you are your own. You find it, so your own. So you put me to trouble. Me never can get to pay my bill or whatever me I use the money and do. See, me never can do that. It says, keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee. Many when a thing was lent, them reckon it to be found, and put them to trouble that help them. Till he had received, he will kiss a man's hand. Yeah, you have some people like that. Before them get what them want, them will do anything, yo. You would think, say, I want baby, then will talk the softest and the sweetest, and tell you the sweetest thing them. Just forget the thing what them want. And that is a wicked person. That is a wicked person that will drop themselves a ground, they will bow a ground until them get what them want. It said, till he had received, he will kiss a man's hand, and for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively. But when he should repay, he will prolong the time. As the scripture says, when we have some people like that, and these people, mere people complain about every day in a Jamaica. He said when he should repay, he will prolong the time. For example, as I tell me, say next week, I'm going to get back my money. But when next week Monday come, you are going to tell me, say, boy, you know, say, me can't pay back. Today, me have to go pay back. The other week, and when the other week come, you are going to tell me, say, boy, you know, say, trouble come up on me, ask that and cow fat. So, at the other week, when me have need for my money, alright. It said, till he had received, he will kiss a man's hand, and for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively. But when he should appear, he will prolong the time, and return with words of grief and complaining of the time. I go say, boy, time hard. Boy, I don't know when I go find that fear right now. Seeing my son sick, my wife sick, so I can't get that. I don't have the food in my house. Do you have some people like that? Seeing they'll complain, they'll come back with grief. Well, that never have nothing to do with me. And never that the second time I come borrow my money. Yeah, and that the second I come borrow my money. That not have nothing to do with me. If me make a deal and I say I'm going to lend you $100 until next week, then when next week come, you're supposed to give me my money. You're supposed to keep your word. Yeah? Verse 6. If he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half, and he will count as if he had found it. If not, he had deprived him of his money, and he had gotten him an enemy without a cause. So you get yourself an enemy without a cause, because guess what? You have some people that go and pray you. You have some people that go eat and say all the boy there. But I lend the money from when and him not give back. You have some people like that. Yeah, you have some people that pray you for do some things. Because you're supposed to give him back his money just like the mob, yo. You know the mob one time, you know the mob, if you borrow some money from them and you can't pay them back the money, they might come break your foot, they might make you swim with the sharks. Yeah, they might beat you, they might kill your family because you're supposed to pay back the money. You always see them things in a movie. Verse 7. Alright, go back to verse 6. It says, if he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half, and will count as if he had found it. If not, he had deprived him of his money, and had gotten him an enemy without a cause. He paid him with cursing. You have some, I see that, I witness that for myself. I always witness that. You have some people when them pay about the money, then when them prolong the time, and when them supposed to pay about the money, then pay and curse. They say, pussy, yo, take this man for one, this and all of them things there, yo. You have some wicked people that stay them with it. See them pay back with cursing and railing, and for honor he will pay him disgrace. It's a many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded. So you have someone we start get afraid. We start get afraid for lend somebody something again because of what the other person they do. Then because I'm experience certain things with one person, so them don't want to lend nobody again. Then it's a many therefore have refused to lend for other men's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded. Yet have no patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy. As the scripture says, you're supposed to yet have no patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy. So you're supposed to always lend. You're supposed to always lend. If somebody come to you and really need that, you lend him. Somewhere, somehow, the most I go pay back because of the good deeds what you do. And because him don't pay back, the Most High go visit him. Yeah? He said, yet have patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy. He said, help the poor for the commandment's sake, and turn him not away because of his poverty. He said, lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not trust unto a stone to be lost. He said, lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. See? So when I do good favor to some people, you're gonna get it back. The Most High gonna make you get it back. The Most High will make you get back even more. See? Because as the scripture says, he that is merciful shall receive mercy. So when you have mercy upon a poor man, you're gonna get back mercy. See? Next scripture may I go to a scripture in Deuteronomy 24 and 5 and 10. Salakia. It says, when thou dost lend thy brother anything. Alright, so this is gonna show you this is the law concerning borrowing and lending. Right? Deuteronomy 24 and 10. It says, when thou hast lent thy brother anything, thou shalt not go into his house to fetch his pledge. Right? So if me lend my brother $10,000, and my brother say, look, next week I get it back. Then when next week come, I get it back. You have some people where take off a wheel off a car, where we broke in a man's house and say them going to take this, we value the 10,000 because them can't get it back. See, the map do that. But that don't mean it right. The scripture say, oh, when thou dost lend thy brother anything, thou shalt not go into his house to fetch his pledge. Thou shalt stand abroad, and the man to whom thou dost lend shall bring out the pledge abroad unto thee. So you wait. You're not supposed to even well, the righteous thing to do, you're not supposed to even remember that. You're supposed to just forget that. You lend him something, then, and when you get it back, you get it back. And as I say, if the Most High will, then you get it back. Then, but the man you lend to, if him not bring it back, the Most High go visit him for that, because that's a wickedness. You know, so you're not supposed to take somebody goods, or borrow somebody goods rather, and don't repay. Don't give back the goods you borrow. Then, and when somebody come to you for borrow something, you're supposed to lend to your brother. Right? Alright, next scripture. Next verse is verse 12. And if the man be poor, thou shalt not sleep with his pledge. It said, in any case thou shalt deliver him the pledge again when the sun goeth down, that he may sleep in his own raiment, and bless thee, and it shall be righteous unto thee before the Lord thy God. Right? So that explains itself. Alright, the next scripture may I go Psalms 37 and 21. Alright, this is Psalms 37 and 21. The wicked borrow it and pay it not again. So if a person borrows something from you and don't pay back, the scripture tells us that them wicked. Because you don't know a purpose the person have for money. You don't know a purpose the brother have for money when take and lend you. And therefore, if you borrow your brother money or whatever the goods is, then, and don't pay him back, therefore you not consider your brother, therefore you hate your brother. You don't have no love for your brother. Then, so therefore you're a wicked person, and the scripture don't tell you what happened to wicked person. Then, and what the wicked person inherit. Right? So the scripture said, the wicked borrow it and pay it not again, but the righteous show it mercy and give it. Then, so somebody show you mercy, and you be wicked. Zin? Alright. The next scripture may go in our law. This is the final scripture. This is Deuteronomy 15 and 7. It said, if there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of thy gates in thy land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not harden thine heart, nor shut thine hand from thy poor brother. Right, so if a poor brother come to you and needs something, then you're supposed to give a poor brother. You're supposed to help a brother. Then that's a part of brotherly love. But thou shalt open thy hand wide unto him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his needs. You're supposed to give him exactly what he wants for him need. If he needs something to eat, you're supposed to give him something to eat. Right? If him in a some form of problem, if as the scripture saying in a John, then now Matthew Salakia, with John, when John said the scribe, when John did a teach at the river, him say if a man, if you have 2 shirts and a brother not have none, you're supposed to give your brother 1. Right? That are giving still, but you can lend. Then you're supposed to lend your brother was sufficient unto him. So beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release is at hand. So you have a thing in Israel when you have the year of release. When the 7th year come, you lend somebody and 7th year pass, then you're supposed to just release that debt. You're not supposed to look back for that. You're supposed to let that go. Right? It said, beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy brother, thy poor brother, and thou givest him not, and he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it be sin unto thee. Thou shalt surely give him, and thine heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because that for this thing the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy works, and in all that thou puttest thine hand to. So you see, when time again, when somebody need help that person, then with sincerity, then not help them with the intention to get back something, then but being sincere and help a brother, then the most I go bless her for that. Then, and if that brother don't repay, the most I know what to do with him, because that brother is a wicked brother and that brother not consider another brother. Then, so basically that's it. And the whole issue of borrowing and lending, then they tell you how what the borrower is supposed to do. See, and what the person lend what I'm supposed to do. See, and I hope that edify other brothers out there and other people we are watch in Israel. See, and hope that make a man know, so when time I borrow something from a brother, I'm supposed to pay them back. Then, and when a person lends somebody something, they're supposed to even look back for that. Then, so with that more I say, all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, double honors to the elders at GMS. Big up the brothers them within the highways and the byways where they do the work of the Most High in sincerity and in truth. I want to say shalom.